are never too complicated. Hi, my name is Samuel Curry, and I chose to research my senior project topic on Steve Jobs. When Steve Jobs' mother was putting him up for adoption, it was important to her that his parents had gone to college and that Steve would get a good education. Steve was not good at school, though, but he loved building things at home with his adoptive father, who was an engineer. Because of problems at school, the family moved into the Hun Valley. Steve's interest in building and inventing machines continued to grow. In high school, he met someone who would become his lifelong friend, Steve Wozniak. They were a perfect match because they shared the same engineering interests. Steve Jobs attended Reed College in 1972. He was the youngest in the class since he had skipped 5th grade, but he was still the smartest. He didn't feel that a lot of the classes were worth his time, so he only went to the classes he thought were worth his time. He couldn't afford a dorm room, so he went to sometimes friends school. One day he was leaving the campus, and he saw his calligraphy class. So he decided to take calligraphy class, because Reed College had the most advanced calligraphy class at the time. That class would benefit him a lot over time, because he could apply the fonts from that class onto the fonts on the map. Finally, after doing this repeatedly, Jobs finally dropped out of Reed. He didn't see the value in staying in college. He was scared, but when he looked back, it was one of the best decisions he had ever made. During this time, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak would work on the Blue Box. The Blue Box is an invention that allows you to make long-distance calls for free. They would sell it, and they made a total of $6,000 off it. After the success of the Blue Box, in the early 70s, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak decided to start working on the computer business. At the time, they were among the few people who knew how to work with microchips, which was remarkable because they are such a vital component of a computer. In the early 70s, Jobs got hired for Atari. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak invented a way to run games on fewer microchips. That would be a skill that Apple would perfect many years later. After the success of Atari, Jobs and Wozniak went on and made the Apple Computer Company. They named the company Apple because Steve had spent the previous summer working on an Apple phone. Macintosh would soon follow. In 1985, Jobs was fired from Apple because of the power struggle between him and the board. He went on and made Next. Next is another computer company, a competitor with Apple. Next is going to do better than Apple because the computers are faster, cheaper, and more reliable because they were built better. For the following 11 years, Next experienced tremendous success. Since Apple knew that Next was going to do better than them, they bought Next in 1996, and Steve returned to the company he created. After Jobs returned to Apple, it became one of the most innovative and successful companies in the history of America. It has changed the way we look at our technology, from our phones to tablets to the slick design of our computers and how we listen and share our needs. In spite of Steve Jobs' success and wealth, he wasn't focused on money when he was older. He once said, "Being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. Going to bed at night and saying we've done something wonderful, that's what matters to me." He didn't care that he was the richest person in the neighborhood or even that he had the most possessions in his house. Steve Jobs died 7 months ago and will always be remembered as a genius. One of the most inspiring quotes is, "Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify them, or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. This makes the human race forward. And while some may see them as crazy ones, we see genius, because the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do." People doubted the idea of Apple at first, and now they can see how big of a company it is. It has completely revolutionized the world, and with every new product or application that